Haha, 69. Hello everyone, welcome to my review of the APC Toys Night Countess, also known as Transformers Prime Airachnid. I guess this is APC's Toys' attempt at a first edition styled Airachnid figure, because the other Airachnid figure that we have is absolutely awful. So I knew I needed a new one, and this one came into my lap, and whoo-wee! She is not perfect, but she's so much better than the original version. She can at least move her arms, which is something that the other one couldn't really do. There's still a little bit of blockage, but overall, look at this. The only kind of thing that I find a little bit weird is her stomach area. I don't know, it just looks a bit weird. And also you get a little bit of wiggle here as well. Woo! Ab crunch, titty crunch, breasticle crunch, I don't know. But my goodness, let's get in close here on the details. So here we got her head looking very accurate to the show model, with the nice big purple eyes and the nice gold around her head. And then in here I put in a sticker for the Decepticon symbol. It's the only one that I could actually do. We got the nice little breasticles here. You got the nice stomach area. And then also you got some nice pink-ish highlights here, which I feel like I shouldn't be allowed to touch. And we have some nice gold here on the legs. And I like the way that this also does not want to sit tight in here for me. This is supposed to tab in, but it just doesn't really do that. It just untabs itself way too easily. We got the nice backwards chickeny legs, as people call it. Also the skirt pieces here. And then on the back, she looks like this. However, I will say this though, which is what I'm not really supposed to say. But is it just me, or does she look naked? She does. She most certainly does. So let's bring in this. Here, we have spider leg pieces. So, what you are supposed to do is put this in big hole. And there you go. Then you can also rotate this, angle this out. There is the Airachnid that we all know and loathe. Very much loathe. But my goodness, does she look good. However, she does not come with any weapons. So if you are like, what weapons does she come with? No, none. She has this, and she's got Wolverine claws. That's all she comes with. But that is more for something else that we will show off later on. But overall, I do like this thing a lot. So let's go into the immediate section of articulation. Let me just get these spider legs a little bit out of the way, which can move and rotate and move for articulation. Her head can rotate all the way around. It can also look up and down a lot. Her arms can do if everything wants to kind of get out of the way, why don't you? Her arm can do a full 360. I don't know why this side, as you can see, this one is sitting flush, but this one is not, weirdly enough. But you can do a full 360. It can move in and out as well. Like so. She's got a bend at the elbow, and as you can see in here, there's a ball joint, which also means that there's swivel action, and her hand can move and rotate as well. She's got nothing at the waist. Back to the Prime toys that have nothing at the waist, I guess. Even though this is an original figure and could have had something at the waist. They didn't put anything at the waist. That's a bit of a shame. So her legs can move forward about that far, not really that far, and back all the way. They can go in and out. She has a bend at the knee, and her heel can move. And that's it. So you still have the first edition styled articulation, even though this is more of a recent figure. I don't know when they released this figure, because they've done APC Toys has done a bunch of Prime figures. They even did like a Soundwave, but I learned that was the RAD Soundwave, so I didn't pick him up. But overall, she looks really good. So let's get into some size comparisons. So starting off, here we got Garbage Boys, the original Garbage. My goodness, look at these two. It's just night and day which one's better. That thing is just so, it was bad when it came out, but people were like, oh, but how are they gonna do it? Well, like this, they could have done something well, they didn't have first edition budget anymore, but still, this is awful, horrible. Look at this thing, just awful, and I had to deal with this thing for decades. But now that I have you are going into the back, because you don't matter anymore. However, I did always find it clever how they tried to do this as extra spider legs. I always liked that. I will say that was actually a bit of a clever maneuver. So let's get you out of here because we do not need to see you anymore. Also, she had these weird weapons, which she never had in the show. So let's just bring in the Decepticon brethren like this. And here we have Airachnid, as you can see, with the rest of the Decepticon. And yeah, she looks really good. I mean, I will say this, she's a bit too big. I kind of wish that they made her smaller. And that will also be the next size comparison, by the way, because we have one more left. But I wish she was a bit smaller because it's like, why are you almost as tall as Starscream? You're like what? Like almost, you're like Deluxe plus height. I kind of wish you were maybe more on the lines of Knockout. But I also forgot how tall Airachnid was in the actual show. And because of the fact that she does turn into a helicopter, unlike a bike, it might look a bit better. But here she is with the rest of the Decepticons, so I'll get them out of here and I'll bring in this final size comparison. And here we have Airachnid next to RC. And I'm gonna say this, I do like this scale. They scale very well together. Airachnid is a bit taller and I feel like that is supposed to be accurate. So I do like how these two look together. While Airachnid is too tall for the actual Decepticon gang, if you put Airachnid next to RC, she works fantastically, so I do like this. So, let's get RC out of here. Bring you in closer so we can get to mode number 1 out of 2. Because if you think that this is all she does, no. She also has a spider mode. So let's get there now, shall we? So, to get Airachnid into her hunter mode, or huntress mode, I apologize. What you first want to do is you want to take this piece back here. Rotate them around. You don't have to do this, but I feel like for a lot of more clearance and potentially also a lot more stuff you can do with the legs, it just adds more clearance. I like that, so we're gonna do that, okay? Then what you want to do, move that out to the side, is disengage the back of the legs, untab it, push it up, do the same thing on the other side. So, were you glued in or something or what? So, you want to rotate these up, and then rotate them more towards each other. So just use the joints that I showed you in the articulation segment. Because what you want to do is you want to tab them together. There's a tab here, and then in here there are slots. So you basically just want to combine these, which can be a bit finicky, but just line it up perfectly, tab them together like so. Then what you want to do is you want to rotate the back of the legs. Just rotate it up. No, not like that. Like so. Then use this in order to kind of cover everything up. Like so. Then you want to bring in these spider legs. And they're going to tab in here with this little tab. So what you can do is just tab this on this side. Tab this one in on this side. Then rotate it around a bit so that it's more... so that she's facing you. And basically, here we have Airachnid in her Huntress mode. Ah, the way that I remember her, kind of, but not really. And that's because of this. However, I will say this, I respect the attempt. It's not perfect, but I respect the attempt. Because, what did they do? What did they do? Nothing. They at least gave it the attempt, and she overall looks pretty good. Not perfect, but overall pretty good. But they at least gave it the attempt in order for her to have her like spider-esque mode, her hunter mode, and I respect the fact that they did that. And you got these nice looking spider legs. Now for articulation, what they have is, in here there is a swivel. On each of these that you can use, as you can see here, you got a swivel, you have a rotation here, you have a bendy here, and that's it. So on these two silver pieces, you also have some. So you can angle them however you want and however you please. And my goodness. Like I said, not perfect, but overall pretty good. So now then, I guess that calls in another size comparison. I guess RC again. And here we have RC with Airachnid's Huntress mode. And I guess here she is with her original counterpart, who doesn't have a Huntress mode. So I didn't really want to show off, but... there you go. There they are. I want to fling this thing against a wall. I'm not going to, don't worry about it, but I want to so badly. So here we have Airachnid with the rest of the Decepticons. So you can kind of get a sense of scale. And this is what I mean where I say that she kind of feels a bit too big. And I kind of wish she was shrunk down. But she was probably made in comparison to her. So the reason I guess that this one is so big is because RC first edition is so big. So sadly enough, that is well, a bit sad. But let's get everyone out of the way, shall we? So I'm gonna transform her back in her robot mode, and then we're gonna do the transformation into chopper mode. So let's get Airachnid into her chopper mode. So what you want to start off with is you want to take this piece here and rotate it out like so. Kind of the way that you did for the Hunter mode. Also, this does not need to come out yet. Then what you want to do is you want to push this forward, this shoulder piece here, you want to push it forward. Then you want to basically hinge the arm in. And there's a hinge down here as well. So you want to use that one as well to kind of get everything around here in order to get it behind here and line this piece up like so. Do the same thing on the other side. So just like so. Then what you want to do is you want to take this piece here and rotate it around like so. You can kind of fold these out, but like so. Then what you want to do is you want to come in here, open this up, take this piece here at the bottom and just rotate it out like so. Then what you want to do is you want to use the upper chest rotation, it's not really a waist rotation, to rotate it around. And then move this out the way. In this hollow cavity, her breasticles are going to sit, so you want to push this down and in like so. Then what you want to do, you don't want to fold this down yet, because what we need to do is we need to rotate on this here. So you want to basically take the black part and rotate it out like so. So do the same thing on the other side, and then you want to collapse this whole place in like so. Then what you want to do is you want to take this here and just rotate it down and around, because this stab is going to line up here in the front area right there. And then here you have a slot that the tab in there is going to line up. So you need to line both of these tabs up. It can be a bit of an annoyance to get these both lined up, but once you get them lined up, they should, after a couple of tries, they should start to loosen. Hopefully I have tried it enough in order for it to loosen. That was a little bit more difficult to do, to tab that in. Anyway, what you want to do then is don't untab this, because that was for Spider Lady mode, Huntress mode. No, what you want to do is in here you have, as you can see, there are two tabs, and they are supposed to slide into the slot here on her legs. So what you want to do is you want to just lift this up and just line it up and tab it in. Do the same thing on the other side and tab it in. And then also take the heels, fold them down, and tab them in together. Then, as you can see what I've already done here, you want to get this out of the way. Fold these pieces down. Then what you want to do, as you can see here, there's a little cutout here that this piece fits in perfectly. And there's a tab here sticking out on either side that these two holes are going to go into. So you want to basically just line this up and then tab it in. Line it up. Tab it in like so. And also this front part does not want to stay seated, sadly enough for me. But if you've done everything correctly, here you have a... what is this supposed to be? Alright, we're missing something, which I actually totally said on purpose, because we'll move her off to the side for a bit to talk about these spider legs things. So what you want to do, you have a tab up here that is going to slide into that slot. So you want to rotate it and tab it in. Are you already tabbed in? No, you only look tabbed in. So tab in, and then oh, you were the one. Rotate it and then tab it in like so. Make sure that they are fully extended. And then on top of here you have a hole, you have a slot, so you just want to take it, slide it in. And as you can see, it wasn't even all that difficult to get her into her helicopter mode, but here she is. My goodness, here we have Airachnid in her chopper mode. So here we have Airachnid in her chopper mode. That it looks weird, but it works better than the original version. I mean, basically you got the bottom part of Airachnid right here, so that's fun. And we have a spinning blade, as you do. However, this also likes to move sometimes. It doesn't have like a clear stopping point. It does, but like it still moves with it. So I guess you gotta do it like this. But overall, it is a nice looking chopper mode-ish. I mean, it is a bit big at the front. And if you want to, because you can repurpose this kind of stuff, you can use these holes on the side to plug these spider legs in. There you go. She could still use that in her chopper mode. I love this so much. It's something that I will say I have never done before, and this was the first time that I did it. Oh my god, it actually doesn't look all that dumb, if I'm being honest there. I mean, I would have needed to take away the propeller, but overall, this doesn't look that bad. Let's get these out of here for now, because we don't need them. But I just thought to see if... I just wanted to test out to see if it could work. And it can. But overall, I like this chopper mode. Is it more accurate than the Hasbro version? Well, I don't really know. Her chopper mode is always kind of in the dark. I don't really remember ever seeing it, because she really only appears at the dead of night. So that's fun. But I am happy that they were able to get an as accurate version of Airachnid as possible. Probably with the budgetary limits, while also giving her the Huntress mode and giving her the chopper mode as well, and not really sacrificing anything. I mean, the robot mode looks a tiny bit weird, but outside of that, it's not really sacrificing anything. They did a phenomenal job with this thing, alright? So let's go in here, close here on the cockpit. But you got some purple here on the windows as well. You got some nice pink here on the side. You got some gold here on the side, which are just the knees. Oh, hello! How are you doing today? She's just lurking under there. She is smelling her own farts. Do you see that? She is literally smelling her own farts. And then even the feet kind of blend in. I kind of wish that they could close up better together. But overall, everything kind of like blends in. It blends in really well. And obviously for articulation, these things can spin. That's the articulation that you're gonna get. I mean, it's more articulation than a lot of jet formers nowadays get, because they have molded in wheels. So, let's just get straight into size comparison, starting off here with her older counterpart. And which one do I like more? I like this one more. I mean, this one might be a little bit more accurate. I mean, this was the only mode that this figure ever really did right. It was the robot mode where everything went downhill. But I don't know why. I like the, you know, like the bulbish nature of this mode a lot more. I feel like it fits her also. I don't know why. Don't ask. Don't ask. But I do like it a lot more. And I'm a big fan of this mode. But to be honest, this one also doesn't look that bad. But this is the only good thing that this thing could do. Arch Nemesis time, boys. And my goodness, do they look good together as well. Whoa. But I like the two of them together. I mean, I like how she kind of becomes smaller. And, you know, like she just stays huge. Let's get you out of here so we can get the Decepticons in here. Here we got Airachnid with her Decepticons. And I'm gonna be honest here. This doesn't look too bad, to be honest. The scaling for her works pretty well, actually, with the rest of them. I like it a lot. However, these two do kind of look out of place. So I will get everyone out of the way. So let's just go into that reverse transformation. So let's get Airachnid back into a robot mode. So what you want to start off with is pull off the propeller. And then untap each of these pieces, which I always am terrified about doing. Because for some reason they tab in very securely. And I don't like the fact that they do that. Rotate around, but so that you can do it like that. So basically bend it so that you can bend it like that. And I put it off to the side for robot mode purposes. Then what you want to do is you want to untap these side pieces here. Rotate them down. Then split the legs and untap the legs from back here as well. Anyway, untap the legs, but make sure that the legs don't get untapped from themselves as well. Then what you want to do is you want to come over here, untap the front piece, and rotate it out. Oh boy, I'll deal with that later. Lift up this piece here, the cockpit, and then rotate this one around. Like so. That was what you were supposed to do. Also, fold this little piece here up, because we don't need it anymore. Then I'm gonna fix this, and then I'll be back. I have fixed it, and I'm back now. Then you wanna untap the arms from in here. Just unhook the arm from in here and straighten it out like so. There we go. Then what you want to do is you want to take this here, fold it up, rotate it around, while also folding it up and straightening it out. Then you can take this here, rotate it around, and then once the arms are out of the way, you can fold these up so that they sit flush. Oh, hey, it worked. Before, this one didn't want to sit flush. It's still not sitting fully flush, but it is sitting flush enough. Also, straight down the head. And if you've done everything like I said you have to, fold out the heels. Forgot about that one. But here you have Airachnid, because it's that easy. And then obviously you can put this back where it's supposed to go, on the back, on her back. And here we have Airachnid back in her robotic mode. I'm not gonna pull out the spider mode. This is what we're gonna do. So, my final thoughts on Airachnid. What do I think about this figure? I like her a lot. I really do, actually. I very much do like this figure. I mean, she is so much superior than the original version. I mean, the original version was garbage when it came out. And now it is even more garbage now that I have this one. This one is not perfect, however, but it is as close to perfect as probably we're ever gonna get. And also, I couldn't think of a better number 69 than an actual whole. At least that's what the internet has shown me. But I will say that this is a very good figure. I love the coloration, the transformation, has some small annoyances, but is also very simple. Like, you wouldn't expect that. Like, I saw, like, a video uploaded from this thing, and I didn't really want it because, you know, third party, and I thought it was more masterpiece quality. I also kicked my light by accident. But I thought it would be more in the scale with, like, you know, masterpiece figures. So I was like, I'm not gonna get it. But then I was like, well, I would like a first edition Optimus Prime and Bulkhead. And the RC's looking nice. And I kind of need a new Megatron. So let me just buy her. And I will say this, she is well worth the money. She is about Voyager class price point, but you do get this with it as well. So I will say that she is most definitely worth that price point. I am very happy with my purchase, and yeah, that's about all I can say. So that has been my review of APC Toys' Night Countess, also known as what would have been a first edition Airachnid. And so comes an end also to the Prime saga, because I'm done. These are all the Prime figures that I wanted to review over the course of the month September, and the reason that I chose for this time is because I wanted this specific review to be number 69. Yes, I am still a child at heart. I mean, look at myself. I have a channel basically dedicated to talking about toys. So now I guess we're going back to the regularly scheduled programming, with the next review being another either big boy or expensive boy. And I very much hope it is going to be 86 Optimus, but I don't know if I have that figure by the time of recording this. But I'll see you guys for whatever review number 70 is going to be. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!